Kamusta Kamo? Hi, it's Victoria. In today's video, I'd like to share to you my thoughts and a bit of like a review about the new Huda Beauty Naughty palette. This has been a long time coming because this palette has been with me for like 2 months now. Ever since it got released. I never really got a chance to like sit down and play with it. And now we're gonna play with it a little bit. So yeah, let's get started. I tested some of the shades here on my eyes before I made this video, and I'm gonna share to you some of my thoughts about it. So for this shade right here, this is like the most controversial shade that I've encountered with Huda Beauty. I really couldn't say that there are mixed reviews about this shade right here because I'm pretty sure there's just one review and it's really not that good. So if you're planning to buy this palette because of this shade, please don't. You're just gonna waste your time and money. I think what Huda was trying to do with that shade was she wanted like a glossy look, but the formula is just not there. I personally like to see a glossy look, but to wear it for the whole day, no. Like, it's gonna crease your crease. You know what I mean? So no to glossy lids. Like, they look really, really good at first, but when you're gonna wear it for the whole day, it's just so tacky, it's just not there. If you're wondering how I did my base, you can click that link up there and it'll take you to how I usually do my base. So let's start. Went ahead and primed my eyes first, and it's from MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and then just pat it with powder. With this palette, I'm gonna do 3 looks today. First, I'm gonna start with this one, this the next, and then, well, for the third look, is for the both eyes. Come closer. Huh. Now that we're close to each other, let's start. For my transition shade, I'm gonna use the shade Juicy. For the outer corner of my eye, I'll be using Naughty. I'll just bring it a bit here with whatever excess powder there was earlier. Next, I'm going to define it with Untamed. I'll blend it with the brush that we used for the outer corner of our eye. There's no fallout whatsoever. For my transition shade on the outer corner of my eye, I'll be using Desire. This has kind of a creamy finish to it. Then for my center lid, I'll be using Passion with my finger. Ooh, that's a nice color. I'll blend out the Desire that we put in here earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this part right here and blend it a bit with Naughty. For my lower lid, I'll be using Naughty. On the outer corner, on the center, I'll be using Desire. And Passion. For the inner corner of my eye, I'll be using Shameless. That's also a good color. I'll just put liner, fall season, mascara, and I'll get back to you. And that's it for the first eye. Let's proceed with this one. For my transition shade, I'll be using Hypnotic. I'll put a bit here on this side. For the outer corner of my eye, I'll be using Arouse. With whatever eyeshadow left, I'll go ahead and put in this side as well. I'll be using a bit of the hard shade. I'm gonna apply it inside as well. For the center lid, I'll be using Please Me. I'll be using just dry brush for this, but it seems like since it's a creamy eyeshadow, I'd say I'll use my finger for this. There we go. With whatever shadow that's left in our hands, I'm gonna put it on top. I'm just gonna add a bit on the outer corner here. I'll be adding Arouse to this side. And a bit of Hard. And then to top off my center lid, I'll be using Tantric. And I'm just gonna use my finger. For my lower lid, for the outer corner, I'll be using Arouse. And then I'll apply it in the inner corner as well. I'll just blend it with a clean brush. Now for this center right here, I'll be using Tantric. Then for the inner corner of her eye, I'll be using Flower Power. And this is the final look for this side. Now let's go ahead and make the third look. For my transition color, I'll be using Filthy. Then I'll use a bit of Arouse. I'll apply some on this area. For the outer corner of my eye, I'll be using Spicy. With a more detailed brush, I'll use Spicy for the inner corner. And then I'll just buff that out with the brush that we use for the outer corner of her eye. With a smaller brush, I'll be using Untamed. And then with our transition brush that we used earlier, we're just going to diffuse this a bit. Using my finger, I'll be applying Desire. Desire has kind of like a creamy texture to it, so I'm pretty sure that brush won't give it justice. I actually applied too much on this area, so I'm going to diffuse it with the shadow that we used earlier for the outer corner of her eye. Then for the center area, I'll be topping it off with Irresistible, just to give a bit of a highlight for this center lid. For the lower area of her eye, I'll be using Arouse first, and this one is Untamed. For the center area, I'll be applying Desire, just a dot of Irresistible. For the inner corner of her eye, I'll be using Provocative. I'll just finish this eye and I'll also apply eyeliner, mascara, and falsies and get back to you. That's it for my eye. Now let's put a bit of a highlight on. I'm gonna use Pat McGrath. I don't have the cover for it because I've been using this a lot. So it's just the pink pigment part. I'm applying a bit of highlight in this area and in my cupid's bow. It's going to make your lips a bit fuller. There you have it. That's the third look. My review for this palette, I'll give it like a 6.5. I just didn't like this shade right here, which is the slippery one. It's not wearable at all. Save your money if you're gonna buy this just for this shade right here. It looks different, yes, but it's really not wearable. As for the metallics, I definitely recommend it. These metallics and the shimmers are great. As for the mattes, they're not as blendable as her other palettes, and for this one, it's a bit chalky. So That's why I would say it's a 6.5. I'd say I'd buy it for the metallics, but in general, if you're not also into the metallics, then I wouldn't recommend buying this at all. At all. Ano ba yan? There are far more better palettes out there with better quality of mattes. And that's it. That's a 6.5 for me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video or if you want to see more makeup videos from me and makeup reviews of palettes, then please hit subscribe, like, share, or you can comment down below your thoughts or constructive criticisms and for any palettes that you also want me to review. Bye!